very common. If you do get bad water quality, it's standard advice to actually cut the feeding down, because in general it's much better to underfeed your fish than overfeed your fish, but you also don't want to be underfeeding them. So what I'm looking at the moment is a tank full of slightly skinny fish. I'm not terribly worried. You also might want to just consider getting a couple of free swimming middle fish, whether it be silver sharks, tinfoil barbs. There's certainly mono angels, so there's certainly a range of fish. But once all these fish are coming out, this tank does look relatively well populated. So for you to get a new fish now, it'd have to really be a treasure, and you'd have to really want it. So yeah, you do have some quite aggressive fish in there, like Labiotropheus, like that fella there with the nose. Are you having trouble with aggression with any of them?
The venisters.
Yes.
One big venisters.
Yes.
And the electric blue, two big electric blues.
See, as a generalization, they're usually good bosses. So an electric blue, Venustus has got a reputation as being a good boss. So what a good boss will do is give everyone a little bit of a hurry up, but not actually hurt anyone. So if you see him going around bullying the other fish, but not hurting them, then that's a good thing. It's like having a strict general looking after the rest of the sergeants, or whatever you want to call it. So if you notice an individual that's aggressive, that keeps picking on one other fish, and then when the fish runs away, if the fish is still panting, then that's bad. That means that the fish has suffered stress due to that interaction. On the other hand, if the fish swims off and the other one just swims off fine and doesn't gasp, then it's probably nothing to worry about. Now, fish food. So here we've got Danichi. Danichi is about the highest quality food you can buy. And then Spectrum, particularly the probiotics, is about the cleanest food you can buy. Now, looking at the distribution of fish, probably all of them look a little bit on the thin side. The other thing I'll just say is that size pellet and that pellet is relatively similar in size. So it is good to get a range of different size pellets, because different pellets are going to advantage different fish. Oi. Fine. Okay, so if you had, say, some wafers, Spectrum's wafers, they're really great to allow the fish to graze on them. And other than that, this is probably a pretty good size pellet for these fish. But looking at the fish, and as you start to fatten them up a little bit, if you notice the smaller ones are not putting on weight, then you might want to go for a smaller size pellet. If you notice that the bigger ones are not putting on weight, then you might want to go for a bigger pellet. And having some wafer is something I would definitely do. I would definitely add some wafer to this tank. How long since the canister's been cleaned?
About 4 months now.
Oh.
Last was clean.
Okay, right. Okay, so we normally recommend they're cleaned once a month, but I'll know by how clean it is. So if I'll tell in a second. But in a perfect world, we'd clean it once a month, particularly because there's a lot of fish in this tank. So you will reach biological capacity.